Hi there and welcome back to LiseLight. I'm Lisa, and in this video I've collected a bundle of t-shirt patterns that I think are suitable. I've called it Curvy Girl Edition because it's part of, you could say, a struggle I've had where I tend to go a little oversized in the different t-shirt or just sweater patterns in general that I knit. And I've decided I want to try to be a little more aware of the fit of the different garments. And I think t-shirts in particular for the, well, it doesn't have to be only in summer. I kind of like the wool type t-shirts because I easily get hot, and I love the fact that like the one I'm wearing, we're coming back to that one. So anyways, it's just I think I've just been looking into all kinds of t-shirt patterns that would fit a more curvy frame. And it's sometimes, of course, it's difficult to say for a fact because quite a lot of the patterns I'm going to introduce for you today, I haven't tried myself. But I'm going to go through why I think they might work and what I would, how I would consider fitting them. So what you're going to see are mostly pretty classic patterns, not a lot of stuff going on because that was a category I wanted to concentrate on. There are also a lot of really cute patterns with a lot of lace and different things going on, but I kind of wanted to explore the more, the easy, more classical t-shirt type thing that you just want to throw on a summer day or spring day, and just try to see which ones I believe that would fit a more curvy frame. So take it with a grain of salt. There are a couple of cute patterns I came across that I didn't include because they simply they hardly fit my size, and they definitely did not go any higher. So they were not inclusive enough, I feel like, which is a shame because that definitely also makes it, if you don't see a model wearing it, it's even remotely close to your own size, it's really difficult to sort of predict whether you think this pattern is going to fit you. And there are some of the patterns, the more fitted we go, the more doubt I have whether this will fit on me or whether this will work or not. So it's going to be interesting to see. I've tried to organize them sort of from the little looser fit, which could fit anybody, to the more fitted fit at the end of the video. So I've tried to, it's not, completely strict, and there are some that could, of course, depending on what's, how much positive ease you do, what size you choose, and so forth. Because there are definitely a couple of cute patterns that I'm going to put in my, mental note for t-shirts I wanna create. So without further ado, actually, before we go further, please subscribe if you're not already to the channel. It helps me a lot. I do a lot of other stuff, podcasts, episodes, and so forth. So anyways, let's just jump into it. And I think I'll put myself down here in the corner, and then if that gets annoying, we'll try to move it around. So the first one I want to show you is definitely a looser fit. And I think, again, the key for me is to not choose the hugely oversized version of the different ones I'm showing you with when it has a little more ease. So this is a pattern. It's called the Marika Knits. It's from Marika Knit, and it's called the Lunette Tee. It came out in 23. It is DK weight. They recommend a fingering plus a lace weight held together for a DK weight, and then it's knit on from 3 up to 4 millimeter needles, so pretty decent gauge. What I love about it, I'll try to show you, let me just check that you can actually see what I'm seeing. Yes, you can. This is great. It's a very, what I loved about it is the clean lines in it. It's basic. It's actually really simple, but look at how beautiful the the neckline is, and it's just the finishing of it is just so clean and so beautiful. Even along the arm, the sleeves, where the sleeves go here at the arm hold, it's just beautiful. I love the neckline. So I really think this is probably a t-shirt that could fit anybody. It's relatively short, but of course you can adjust that as you like. But I think it's more flattering on me that stuff is not really long. I can get away with a wider fit, I believe, if it's not too long on my body. But I would choose a size that doesn't give me, I think that's a key for me, that this, I don't know if it says anything, I won't read up on all of it. There's a lot of information here, but I would definitely go for sort of the smaller end of the positive ease that it probably recommends. I don't know how much that is, but I will definitely look into that. But I think this is a beautiful, beautiful pattern. So that's a very interesting one, I believe. And then the next one, let's see, that's the Miles Tee. That's the one I'm wearing. I knit this, a couple of months ago. I shared it in a podcast episode. It has, like the one you see on the picture, it has this beautiful detail. It's a very simple t-shirt. It's got these where the shoulder line is, it has these holes, like lace pattern stuff, and besides that, it's a very simple sweater. I think, again, I knit mine a little bigger than I needed to. It has more positive ease, I think, than the model has. And that's just a recurring theme. So if I were to knit it again, I might just size down one size. Mine is knit in alpaca, and I just love it. Very interesting pattern. I think one feature that I think is interesting with this t-shirt is you do short row shaping at the bottom. The only thing is a mental load of you're finally getting to the end of it, and then you need to go knit back and forth flat again. That's I don't know, to me that was a little jarring. I almost opted not to do it, but I think it looks really cool that it gives you that curvy thing, and I think it's very flattering too. So I think it's a beautiful t-shirt. Oh, these are almost the same. A beautiful t-shirt with just simple, clean lines, not a lot of stuff going on, but it's just a simple piece that definitely has a big place in my wardrobe. So I might definitely do this again at some point, but then again, there are so many other patterns that sometimes I giggle about the fact that we keep knitting the same stuff when there's so many patterns you could knit. But please let me know if you can relate, because that's probably, I'm not the only one doing that. And then the next one, this is a classic too. I've seen a lot of people knitting this, the Moonset Tee by Osetta. I've tried Osetta's patterns, and I just love their way of writing patterns. I think it's pretty neat. And this one I feel like is so cool, with just also, again, a simple knit in a way, but the collar makes it a little interesting. I don't know if it's also, if it goes around in the neck or if it has the same finishing. It's interesting because I'm doing the garden cardigan by a different designer at the moment. Not a cardigan, that's a pullover. And it has the same type of thing going on at the neckline in front, and it has it in the back as well. I can't really see doesn't show on any of the photos what it looks like in the back. But I think it's a pretty cool pattern. I think for me, the gauge, it could be the yarn. I think the gauge is a little, I don't know, on the looser side, maybe. Calls for fingering weight, and actually that's interesting. So it's very thin yarn. It's because it's knitting for all of the pure silk. I think that's why the structure is like this. So that kind of makes sense. But pretty t-shirt, not much to say about it. I've seen a lot of people doing it. You could also see, I mean, there's so many projects where you can see what it looks like. So I think this one could probably work for most people. And then again, another Osetta pattern is the Legs Tee. Also, I think just a classical, beautiful t-shirt. Again, I would opt for one that didn't go maybe as oversized as it looks on the model here, because this would definitely could be one of the patterns where I drown a little bit. I'm not sure I'm going to go for this because it's not that I feel like I have overly broad shoulders, but I do have broad shoulders, and I don't know if I like the way that it accentuates that. But again, you have to use your imagination. If you consider the model wearing it with more curves, it might all even out and fit well. But it's one of the patterns. It looks fantastic. I think it's so beautiful. But I am wondering a little bit how flattering that would be on me. So it might not be the first pattern I grab for, but I think there's something going on here that's really, really nice. I like the clean lines of it. I mean, you can probably guess that I'm Scandinavian just from the fact that I go for the classical, simple, just elegant style. So that's a little funny. The next one is again, Osetta, and it's a harvest tee. And this one is very, very simple. It's got these sort of raw edges. And I feel like for a summer t-shirt, I almost imagine something linen-like. That could be really cool. So I feel like maybe, let's see what yarn this is. This is also fingering weight. It's Osetta Fibers Merino Cotton. So that kind of makes sense. But I kind of could see this in maybe Sandnes Yarn Lina or something like that. I think that could look really cool. It's knit on 3.25 millimeter needles, a lot of different sizes. I think it's just a relaxed, simple. I think everybody can wear this, and you can pretty much fit it to more or less any body size. I mean, you got to be, I think when you go for styles like this, at least that's how I feel, you got to be really mindful of your bind off and all the stuff, because if this starts looking sloppy, like the whole t-shirt is going to look sloppy. So in one way, I think this puts higher demand on your finishing skills because it's so simple. So if that doesn't work out, it will look kind of sloppy. And I think the yarn you choose definitely needs to have a beautiful gauge. Otherwise, it's gonna, or the fabric needs to look beautiful. Otherwise, it's gonna look too uneven and maybe a little out of shape. So, but actually a neat pattern, I feel like. This one is the Annecy Tee by Ane Fiskum Sunde, and this one is in my immediate future because I bought the pattern. And it's a beautiful, simple raglan t-shirt with, just beautiful increases at the, let's see if we can see it a little closer there. Just beautiful, clean lines. This one is knitted on 4 millimeter needles, and it's DK weight. And they recommend more like cotton merino type yarns. But what I'm going to go for is actually viscose, DK weight viscose. I already did the swatching and it fits great. It's definitely will have more, a little more drape. It does have some drape, it looks like, what it's knitted up in. I don't know which of the yarn recommendations he has chosen here, but I think mine will have even more. So the question for me is going to be the sizing of it, because it does recommend a little more positive ease than I'm going to go for, I think. Based on my bust size, I think my size recommendation would be size 5, which would give me 126 centimeters around, which would give me I think the recommended positive ease of, I think it's 16 centimeters or something like that. But I might actually go down a size and do the size 4, because I think this type of garment might look too big if it gets too oversized. And I'm pretty sure that the viscose might grow a little bit because it's pretty loose and elastic. So I think depending on how heavy it gets, I do think that it might be wise to not go too big. So I might try to do this at the size 4 and just go with that. So I'm looking forward to this knit. It will be a simple one, I believe. It's just straightforward. It's stockinette. And those kind of projects are just great once in a while. So that's going to be my not immediate future. I will have a couple of projects I work on, but after those, that this is going to be one that I'm going to reach for. And then the next one, I found this. I think it's really cute. It's Gabby Tee by Lunette, Lene Holme Samsø, and it's knit with fingering held doubled, and that ends up being fingering. That's a little confusing to me, but anyways, never mind. It's knit on 4.5 millimeter needles, and then a 3 millimeter for the ribbing probably. And the feature of it is pretty simple tee, a little bit fitted when I'm moving into more of the fitted versions of the tees that I have with me today. And then it has this little effect on the sleeve. I'm not sure I love it, so I don't think I will go for this pattern, but I think there's something pretty cute about the fit of it. I think it looks nice because that's a sort of ease that I want to go for in my knit. So it's not, completely tight, but it's not really oversized. And I kind of like that middle ground, so that's why I brought it. And if you're into sleeves like this is a great pattern. I think looks really cute. It came out in 24 a year ago, so a little more. So could be a pretty good option, I feel like. And then moving right along, then we're moving into, I have a lot of striped tees here too, because I was very inspired. I'm in the middle of knitting one, so I'll tell you when I get to that pattern. But this is one of those that I definitely was considering. It's called the Brighton Tee by Cheryl Mokhtari, and for the Coco Amour Ravelry store. And it's knit on a fingering weight. She chose a Sandnes yarn Sunday. I didn't know that was fingering weight, so the more you learn. And it's knit on needle size 3.0 and 2.5, probably for the ribbing, I would assume. And so it's just a very simple, also raglan tee, a little more fitted. I think it looks pretty cool. I really do. So this was high on my list of patterns that I was considering knitting. I feel like when you go for a little bit more of the knitted size, I sometimes wonder when you're a little more curvy, to me at least, it seems like you can get into trouble with under the arms, that it's sort of weighing back and forth. Do you how deep do you want to make the raglan if you still want it a little bit fitted? I think that's where the trouble comes in for me in order to get this to work out. But I love the pattern, and if you're not a curvy girl, or maybe if you are, maybe you're just more experienced in making that fit. But I seem to have struggled a little bit getting that tighter fit on the raglans. But I love the look of this, and I think the stripes are beautiful neckline finishing, and I think it looks really cool. So definitely a contender when it comes to this. It doesn't go up to more than double XL, not a huge size range, so that's the only thing you've got to be mindful of. Yep, and the next one, we're moving a little back and forth here on the fit, so sorry about that. This one I thought was really cool too. It's called the Skyline Tee by Tori Yu. It's knit on 3.25 millimeter needles at a fingering weight, and a very simple, clean line, but it has a little bit of an effect with these, like the ribbing on the shoulder seams. And the construction seems pretty cool with I don't even know what it's called. sorry about that, but is that a saddle shoulder, I believe, that goes, so the shoulder goes all the way out into the sleeve, and then you have the t-shirt just coming out from that. I think, look at how beautiful it is. I think it's very pretty, very classic. I think in this color also, it's amazing. This looks like something you bought in a store. I think you definitely convince people that you spent a lot of money in a high scale store for this piece. I think it's lovely. Of course, it depends on the yarn too, but look at how pretty that is. I would probably make it just a tiny bit longer than hers, but this is definitely one that I could see myself knitting at some point. I think I didn't even mention, but there are some, maybe we'll get to that later on. This one doesn't talk about it, but some of the patterns that I found in the more fitting versions that we're moving into now, they definitely have some options for how to shape the bust. I don't think you need it here, like darts or short rows or anything, because it's not that tight, but I think this is beautiful. So definitely an interesting pattern. It came out in April of 24. And not much else to say. It's, I think she knit this in sock yarn, maybe 2. I won't go into all the yarn details. Of course, I think I forgot to say it at the beginning of the video. I have a Ravelry bundle that I put in the description below, so you can easily take a look at all the details of all these patterns. Otherwise, we're going to be here all day if I start reading it all. So I won't do that. Yep. And then the next one is, it's called the Perfect Knit T-shirt by Caitlin Bartold. Not a designer, I think I know. It's from 21, so it's definitely not a new pattern. But I thought it was interesting. It's in that middle ground. It's not fitted. It's not completely oversized. It's also a raglan and with the simple finishing at the sleeves and the hem. And I think for a summer t-shirt, that's sometimes what you need. It looks like there might be a little bit of ribbing and then a couple of rows of, what do you call it? Oh man, sometimes the words in English, they escape me. You know what I mean? Doing knitting back and forth, so you get this little rolled edge. I think that's what it is, but I can't say for sure. But it's just, I think it's cute, simple. It's not what I'm reaching for at the moment because I kind of like the, well, how can I put it? I think the less finishing touches you do, of course, this is a finishing touch, but the more raw the edges are on your knit, the more homemade it looks. And there's nothing wrong with the homemade, but I think I'm trying to challenge myself to do stuff that looks like you could have gone out and bought it in a store. I don't know why that would be important, but I think it's my skill level that I'm striving for something that looks authentic sort of somehow, and this feels almost like cheating a little bit in my mind, but I know I would love to have it and wear it because I think it's actually pretty cool. So I took it in the collection because I think this could be probably a fast one. It's knit on 4mm needles, probably an easy quick knit. So there you have it. And then another sort of a striped t-shirt. It's one of the only ones with stuff going on that I put in this, and maybe it's the stripe. So let's see. It's called the Striped Vibe Tee by Knit Your Vibe. Not a designer either, I knew. But look at how pretty the fit is. A very interesting sort of stripy pattern. I don't even know how this is, what this is, but it shows this type of stripes and it's fitted, but in a pretty way. I feel like, let's see more. There's a dark one here too. Well, that's a little difficult. So it's like it's see-through a little bit at the stripy parts. Maybe it's a thinner yarn that you use for the stripes, which turns it into this effect. But look at how pretty it is. I think it's interesting. And let's see what it says. It says, Yeah, I think it's a combination of, it says worsted actually, so maybe it's a combination of yarns, and it's knit on a 6mm needle. This will be probably a pretty fast knit, I believe. I wouldn't do it as cropped as this, I think, for me, but definitely an interesting t-shirt. It came out in 23, so for some reason, only 3 projects of this particular pattern. Sometimes I don't understand which patterns take off and which don't, because I think this one is an interesting one. So now it's in the collection. So let me know if you decide to make it. I think it's definitely interesting stuff to work with. Yep. And then the next one, this one is really cute too. So this was one I came across where it's knit on 3.5mm needles, sport weight. I don't know the composition of the yarn, but look at how pretty that is. It's got this interesting little detail at the neckline with, I don't know, maybe, is that crocheted maybe? Or maybe it is knitted. That looks really cool. And then it has flowy sleeves. So it's a fitted top with this edging all the way around the sleeves, the bottom, the neckline. And then it's got a little bit of a wider sleeve set in. But other than that, actually really simple. And I think also that's part of the stuff that I love. I don't know, and it looks like there's a little bit of fitting in the body going on as well. So pretty interesting, I believe. Let me see if it says anything about, there's optional waist shaping, is what it says. And then you knit it from the top down, and yeah, just the regular stuff. So yeah, I think it's interesting. So it's definitely a pattern you could consider. It came out in September 24. Some projects, but not a lot. So definitely not one of the patterns that everybody has knit. But look at how pretty it is. This lavender is kind of cool too. So anyways, there it is. And then we have the next one. That's also classic. I have a couple of Lily Kate Francis patterns. I never tried any of her patterns, but I know that people are raving about the fit of her t-shirt. So I'm curious about trying one out and see if I can make it fit me as well as it looks on the photos, because she definitely has a very different body size from me. I think most of the models on here are definitely a lot skinnier than I am, and that usually makes it a little difficult to just imagine what would it look like on me. But again, you can always go into the projects and see other people's photos. Sometimes that gives you a better idea of the fit. And it looks like on this one, you can actually you can choose between with or without sleeves. Looks like there are different options for it. And I think also, let me see if she says so. Yeah, the Feels Right tank option is included in the pattern now. That was an update she did in 23. Let me see. She doesn't say anything about shaping here, I think. But she does in some of the other patterns. It's not crazy tight. It's knit on 3.25mm needles, fingering weight. But I think it's just a beautiful classic t-shirt. It just looks cool. Again, I wouldn't do it as cropped as the photos here, but again, that's a matter of taste. So I think this looks really cool. Yeah, and then we're on to the t-shirt that I'm making at the moment. You can see more details in my podcast episodes. It's a Tombo Tee by Florence Miller. It fits right in the middle of fitted but not too tight, in that region where I felt comfortable trying that out and going for a little bit of a tighter fit without going all the way to a really tight fit, because again, that still scares me a little bit how that will look on my body. Because if it clings to all your curves, it definitely maybe highlights stuff that I don't feel like I need to highlight. But I think this is a pretty safe bet, I hope. So I'm in the process of knitting this. I'm probably around here in my process at the moment. So I think it looks really, really cool. I opted for the stripes as well, because I think it's neat. It looks so clean, where the saddle shoulder construction that flows out in the sleeves, and it's just very satisfying. The stripes just look so cool. So yeah, it's knit on 3mm needles. I'm knitting it in a silk yarn from Smoksack, a Danish yarn company. She recommends a different type of yarn. I don't think I was able to get it in, or if I were, it was very expensive in Denmark. So I opted for a different yarn, and I think it's going to work out great. So definitely pretty happy with that choice. Yep, the next one I have is called the Seedling Tee, and it's by Celine Phaeton. I have never heard of this designer before. It has some projects. It's came out in 22. She has knit in onion knit, organic cotton. She also recommends drop spell. Can I just say, I kind of love when designers not only use extremely expensive yarn, because it may not be in everybody's reach. I have projects where I splurge on yarn, but I don't want to do that on all projects. Sometimes I want to go for more affordable options. And I think it's so nice when they actually propose that to you. So you don't have to always do all the work yourself. So I kind of love that, actually. It's a classic, simple t-shirt in a sense. It's got the set-in sleeves. I like that a lot. It has a little bit of a detail going on at the edge with, I don't know exactly how that works out, but it looks cool. There's a more crop version where it has a wider band. I don't think that looks as clean, to be honest. I think this version looks nicer. There's a little bit of an struggle here at the V that could worry me a little bit, whether I was able to do that as clean. But look at this one, is beautiful. She's there's some variegation going on and stuff like that. So interesting pattern. This one looks pretty cool too. I love the fit of it. I think it's pretty cool. So definitely also an interesting option you could go for. The next one, this is the one I already did, the Rainy Day Tee by Sari Nordland. It's this one, she knit hers in Knitting for Olive, soft silk mohair held together, I believe, with something called Samelin Dyeworks Silky Singles. I don't know that yarn. Yeah, so she made it with lace and fingering together for a DK weight. I opted for just a DK weight of wool, lamb's wool, so definitely different than this. It's much tighter. Again, I probably could have sized down a size, but then again, I wasn't mad at my result, because since mine is pure wool and not maybe the softest in the whole world, I'm not sensitive to it, so that's fine. But I probably don't want that to be too tight with that type of yarn. So I'm pretty happy with my version, but I kind of like the fit. But I think here again, that was my concern, that it's very tight under her arms, and I just know myself. I think it looks pretty cool, but I just know myself. I hate when something is tight under the arms, and I think that's a risk you run with the raglans. But I was going to just include this pattern because it might not be the last time I make it. I think it's beautiful. I love the simple detail of the cables. It's a pretty quick knit. It's just, I mean, I love everything about it. After I'm done with it, it's done on 3.5 millimeter needles, and yeah, I think it's just worked out great. So that's the only detail it has, and then it's just simple stockinette. So pretty basic, but with a twist, and I love that. So. Yep. Next one is also a designer I've never heard about. It's called, this t-shirt is called the Rosalinda Tee by Stine Hølgaard Johansen. Definitely sounds like a Dane. It came out in 21, so it has a couple of years behind it. But look at how pretty that is also. That is a raglan, but it's such a simple, clean look that it has. I love the fit of it. I think it's very flattering with the way the raglan sits sort of out, wider out on her, kind of. I think it looks amazing. So very intrigued about this one. So I thought it was definitely a contender in this roundup of patterns. So oh, she could be Swedish, who knows? Maybe she is, but it sounded like a Danish name. Yeah, so what else to say? It's knit on 4 millimeter needles. And oh, actually, this is free, this pattern. That's amazing. You can actually go in and download it for free. It tells you we can unfortunately not give you any advice in here, but we can't really help you. We don't answer DMs, but you can have the pattern for free if you like. So that's kind of cool. So that's definitely an option. It's done in 2 yarns held together. It's the company Yerbo who came out with the pattern, and it's 2 of their yarns held together, a mohair silk with a raggy type. Looks very soft and very delicate, but I think definitely that's a cute pattern. And for free, I mean, what's not to love about that? Not that the designers don't need to give their patterns away, but I think that's pretty cool. It does have maybe the clarity. It has 4 out of 6. Well, there are only 6 votes, so maybe you can't really count that. It hasn't been knit that many times, but I think could be an interesting pattern to take a look at. Yep, and the next one is also, I think that must be also a Danish designer, Louise Carøe. Tee for T-shirt came out in 21. We're moving into more fitted territory. The unfortunate part here is that it's beautiful, but she's knitted in a really dark, is it gray or dark blue? That's up for debate. Maybe but it's a little difficult to see the details, but oh my God, it looks, oh, there you can see it. Look at that. That is really cool, I believe. It just looks very clean, very, very neat, and definitely something that I would want to explore. She tells you, it says in Danish in Ravelry, she says it's a t-shirt, simple t-shirt knit from the top down. Fitted, it's fitted, and you pick up for the sleeves afterwards and shape the sleeves. And you do ribbing and Italian bind off all the way around, so it gets, which is really good because it's, sits close to the body, which makes a lot of sense. So this is definitely one that I would consider knitting. I think it's so pretty, but I would definitely need to be on point with my gauge, and also use yarn that's appropriate. She actually recommends drops alpaca for her t-shirt, so that's definitely an affordable yarn if you want to try it out. So that's I think this was an interesting one. I haven't seen people doing this. I don't think anybody has. That's crazy. Maybe it hasn't been on Ravelry, or maybe it's sold other places, because apparently nobody has done it. So that's kind of confusing. I think it looks really cool. So yeah, definitely one that I will consider in my plans. And then back to Lily Kate France. I think this is a very popular, well, not so many projects, but I've heard a lot of people talk about this pattern. It's called the Calm Down Tee, and it's beautiful. It's a little more fitted than the other t-shirt we saw from her, but not crazy fitted, but beautiful with the shoulders and the set-in sleeves, and the whole thing is really pretty. I think she's known for her good fit, so I think this is definitely interesting. She describes that it has a saddle shoulder detail, a relaxed crew neck, and and considered short row shaping for a tailored fit. And then there are optional bust darts included in the pattern, and that's the sort of stuff that I love, that you're able to that he provides you with details for how there's a little bit of a little more busty version of it here, and it looks amazing. So I'm definitely intrigued, and I think I need to try one of her patterns at some point just to see how that works. I don't know if we can see one version where they did the short rows. Is it visible? I don't know, or the dart shaping, but I think that's very interesting. Maybe, is there something going on here? Maybe. I would be interested in trying that out and just seeing for myself whether I could make that fit, because I think that's amazing. So definitely one that could be on my list. It's knit on 4mm needles, so in a DK weight. So in this, I would definitely have to choose yarn that's nice to have tight on the body, so I don't get too hot. So I would not opt for anything wool, I believe, because that would probably be too warm. But I love the fit of this. It's pretty cool. And then this one is also Lily Kate France, and this is probably the most one of the most fitted ones that I have. It's called the Brightest Tee. It's very I've seen quite a few people create it, because the feature of it, you can just see it slightly. It has this little at the waistline, it has this little lace detail. Can we see it more? Yeah, you can see it more clearly here. You have some ribbing under going down under the arm, which also probably helps it cinch in at the body, and a little bit of shaping here. And I mean, oh my God, it's pretty. It's very cropped. I would probably opt for, well, not that cropped, a little bit, but oh my God, it's beautiful. This is one though that worries me a little bit about how that would look on my body. I'm not sure I want to go for something that's that fitted. Let us see the, yeah, it's a little tighter gauge. It's knit on 3.25mm needles. They've used a Kama Rose Yaku yarn. And well, they've used two yarns, or it's probably the two different. And then it's probably the pink one that's called the Discreet Unicorn High Twist 100% Merino. And I think this also has, let's see, it's update as of 2024. The pattern includes an updated, slightly more substantial sleeve option in addition to the original mini cap sleeve. This update is shown on the gray version. I'm aware of the irony of this Brightest Tee in the dullest color imaginably. That's funny. Let's see, does it have busts? Let's see if it has, it doesn't really say, I think, whether it has more shaping than, I seem to remember it does. I can't remember. I love this. I might actually create it for one of my daughters first to try it out and see what the fit is like on them, and then consider after that whether this is for me. I'm not crazy about the tiny sleeve, and I do believe now you could, it doesn't hit me at a point where I think my arms look better either without sleeves or hitting a little lower than this. So this is probably a t-shirt pattern I might try out for somebody else than me, but I think it looks pretty cool. Yep. And then the last pattern I have, I thought was interesting too. This has a little more going on. It's called the Ribba T-shirt by Lene Marie Aas, or could be Norwegian or Danish, Norwegian, I think. This is a beautiful pattern too. There's a lot of ribbing going on, but actually really simple as it looks like. The neckline is simple, actually not a lot of, it's just, yeah, straight over actually. So pretty simple construction, it seems, but it looks pretty neat. I think it's a good contender for a fitted version. It looks great on this girl too. She's a little more curvy. I think it just inspires me when you can see, I mean, this is why representation, it does matter. I mean, it is just easier to imagine what something looks like when you see somebody a little closer to your own body size, that's for sure. This one is knit on 4mm needles. It doesn't go very far up in size. Came out in 21. And what else do we know about it? We don't really know so much other than I think it might be just, yes, it calls for negative ease of 10 to 15 centimeters. So I don't think there's any shaping going on as such. It's just meant to cinch you in because you do all the ribbing and then it stretches out. So, I mean, that's how that works. The yarn she recommends is Drop Sky, so that would be a very affordable knit as well. But again, beware the size doesn't go up that far. So those were, I'm almost out of my voice now. That was quite the collection. I hope that you found some inspiration in it. I've definitely been enjoying going on a hunt for great classical t-shirts. I mean, I love quite a few of them, and I think I'm definitely going to try to see how, I don't know how many t-shirts is realistic for me to knit in the summertime, but I think summer knits do have a place in my wardrobe, and definitely I think some of the looser t-shirts might also work really great in yarns like this, like the alpaca type yarn and other sorts of like a wool blend of merino, cotton merino, just a light merino blend. I think that's such a comfortable fit and works well with my lifestyle. With I can throw a blazer on top of it and you still have a little bit of wool, but it's not too hot and so forth. So definitely a lot of cool patterns. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you have knitted, you probably do have knitted some of them, and whether you got inspired to try out something new. I would love to hear about it. And so let me know in the comments, and remember to subscribe. It really helps me out with my channel. And with that being said, I will see you hopefully around in the next video. Take care.